Hey
Hey
guys,
guys,
and
and
welcome back to K-pop Cosmos. I am your host Freya, and joining me once again is my co-host Mark. Hey Mark, what's going on?
Hey Freya, nothing much. Same old, same old. We took a little bit of time off so that I
Mhm.
could move into a new place, but so now I'm recording from a new studio, and hopefully everything will go well.
Yeah, hopefully. And how you liking your new place?
I love it. I love
Oh,
it. It's a
good.
nice place. Plenty of room for me to podcast and work from home if I need to, and
Mhm.
eventually I will have a little bit of a creative studio set up too to work on other things that I like to do besides podcasting. But yeah, so far it's pretty good. I really enjoy it.
Oh, good, good. That's awesome. I'm just my setup so like shoved in a little room, so I'm still living in the cramped space. But yeah, that's exciting. Moving's always stressful and exciting at the same time. So
Yes, very stressful.
yeah. So today we are going to meet or talk about we've already met the other K-pop royalty, but today we're going to be talking about the last like K-pop industry dubbed royalty from way back in the day, and that is Lee Hyo-ri. Yeah, Lee Hyo-ri. So, back in the day, she was we've already talked about Boa, right? And I
Yes.
don't remember. So she is the one that I can't remember which one the Korean industry dubbed was the princess of K-pop or the queen of K-pop. I think Lee Hyo-ri was they dubbed her the queen of K-pop because I think she was the one that was on a show with Rain where they called him the king of K-pop and her the queen. But I'm not 100% sure if I'm getting the two mixed up. I'm sorry. But she is one of the official Korean industry dubbed royalty of K-pop. And some of her other nicknames are Chori, Sexy Queen, National Fairy, and Madam Lee. She has some great nicknames, man. So Lee Hyori was born in 1979. She is a singer, actress, model, activist, record producer, and television producer. Um, she debuted with a girl group called Fin.K.L Islands. Sorry, I know I probably said that wrong. Um, and then in and that was during first gen. They debuted back in 1998 was FNKL's debut.
Yeah, they were supposed to be the not alternative, but SES had came out at the same time.
Mhm.
So they were like the other girl group. It's like, oh, okay, SES has three girls. We're gonna make our girl group with four girls. And
Yeah.
they came out to like kind of get into that kind of competition.
And yeah, so and then funny story with her when where is it? Um she was the last member to join FNKL the girl group FNKL or Fin.K.L. I just don't know how to say it. Um and but she was the leader because she was the oldest. Let's see. And she was actually discovered taking those sticker photos, at the photo booths over in Asia. If anyone's been there, they're not like our photo booths where it's like a tiny little room, ours. There's like these big, nice room things you could decorate the stickers and it's really cool. But she was found while doing that with her friends um, by SM Entertainment. So I still find that weird because you got to think about it. Like, she's in this place taking pictures with her friends, and then some adult person
Yes.
approaches these children and goes, "Hey, want to be an idol?" It's just kind of creepy. You
I
know?
know there is that, whenever I hear these stories of how these stars get discovered, it's like that would not play well in today's society.
No.
But, it did have to happen. If it didn't happen, then we wouldn't have a majority of our K-pop stars. So it
Yeah.
is kind of weird, but I think simpler times kind of lays the foundation for that.
Yeah.
Lets it be okay.
And actually the person who scouted her was the manager of HOT.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So he,
Yeah.
he knows a thing about talent.
Yeah, he would. It was just still kind of like, okay, a little weird. Um, so let's see. Lee Hyori, let's see, is married to Lee Sang-soon. So Lee Sang-soon is a rock main guitarist for a rock band. Let's see, Lee Sang. It's the band's name is called Roller Coaster, and they got married in September of 2013 at their vacation home in Jeju Island.
Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
it was pretty cool. So, and she's done performances with him. You can find them online. And yeah, it's really cool. I'm always happy when they get married. I'm like, please be, because I like my idols being happy. So
Mhm.
it's like good. And they're still married as far as my research, shows. Um, let's see. Lee Huri, she is vegetarian. She's also a very active animal rights activist. Um, and let's see, she volunteers a lot. Her favorite artist is Mariah Carey and Brandy. Good choices. Let's see, she's a host of a lot of TV shows like Happy Together, Time Machine, and Fort Boyard. She's been acting in a lot of different shows like Three Leaf Clover, If in Love Like Them on air, Reply 1997, which I watched and I liked, Birth Secret, Emergency Act 19, and Dancing Queen. She's won a ton of awards. She was Korea's first it girl, that I don't exactly know how to explain the it girls of the industry, but
I would say it's the one female that no matter who you are, young, old, guy, girl, everyone is completely fascinated with this one girl. And
Mhm.
she was one of the first ones to kind of, I think, capture everyone's kind of like, ooh, who is this? What is this
Yeah.
girl story?
Yeah, she is very captivating. I will give her that. She caught my attention, that's for sure. Um, let's see. So she did a reality show called Hyo-ri's Bed and Breakfast with her husband and IU. IU was acting as like an employee of theirs, and actually with that, she did actually make their Jeju Island house um where they filmed it. So it was the filming location was actually her home.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, oh, so you really get to see what her house looks like. And that show became really popular due to her and IU, of course. And of course, I'm going to say her husband because I don't know the rocker situation, but I would assume so. She debuted as a member of the Refund Sisters, and she's also a member of SSAK3, which has Rain and that one comedian.
Yeah.
I can never remember his name. What was his name? Jay Sook or something like that. He's the guy that you see on the shows that has the round glasses, skinny guy. Everyone knows who he is when you see him. His name
Yeah.
is Yu Jae Sook. Yeah, that's what it is. Yol Jae Sook. Jae Sook. um, and let's see. Some things that happened to her. Let's see. Her first album, let's see. Her single Stylish sold over 114,000 copies in South Korea. And once again, we have to remember this is first and second gen. There's no social media. There was no like Hallyu Korean wave
Right.
yet. So that was strictly in Korea, and that's really impressive. Um, let's see. She's also known as the unbeatable sexy K-pop queen. um, let's see. She did have some. Let's see. No, 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 no. She did have some issues, which made her take a couple years off. She had some plagiarism. Oops. Some plagiarism issues. So it was with H Logic, I believe. She had one before, but that nothing came from that, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But this one, the second time she was faced with plagiarism issues was with her album H Logic in 2010. They found that her composer, Banus, it's Bahnus, was found to have plagiarized 7 of the album's tracks, which she came out and said, I was that she essentially she said she didn't know anything that had happened, and she's upset
Mhm.
that it had happened, and so she took a couple years off, I believe, about 2 years off, and then she came back. So, and
You know,
that's very. Mhm,
the thing about the plagiarism cases, you know, there's been moments where, you know, someone will make a song and you'll be like, oh, that kind of sounds like another song that I heard, and there'll be like
mhm,
similarities, you know, and like keys and structure and
yeah,
maybe how the chorus goes. You're like, okay, I can see how you would hear those were similar. Someone compared like her songs to like the other songs that they were plagiarized from,
mhm,
and they are like exactly the same. Like
yeah.
how Bonas thought that he could get away with this is beyond me, because he didn't just like make a song that sounded like another song.
Mhm.
It's like taking an instrumental of like an Usher song
Yeah, I think
and
one of the
saying
songs
this
was
is
a Britney Spears song.
like,
Like,
yeah,
it wasn't even some no-name group that no one knows about. He literally, like, ripped off, like, Britney Spears.
I don't understand how he thought he was going to get away with that,
I
but
have
that's crazy.
I have no idea, and yeah, it's nuts, and I feel bad for her because it wasn't her, it was her producer who did this,
Right.
and then I'm like, you shouldn't be. I don't believe in guilty by association because she she didn't she said she had no idea. She's like, I had no idea that he had done this. And I felt really bad. So she just kind of stepped back for a bit and then came back. Um, and when she came back, she was dubbed the nation's fairy. Let's see. And you want to see her debut picture when she was in FK Island? Look how cute she
Oh my
is.
god.
Look how baby she is. She's so cute and baby. And then this is her and her husband. Sorry, it's a small picture, so it's gonna be all kind of blurred. But and their dog, the little doggy, so cute. So anyway, go back to her picture. um, so also some of her early life. So when she was born, she lived in a small apartment, barbershop apartment type. She was impoverished when she grew up. They say she lived in a barbershop of about approximately 285 square feet. So that's a tiny home.
Wow, yeah.
And she was the youngest of 3 daughters. So imagine having the 3, 4, 5, like 5 people in a 200 square foot house. I would drive me insane. Um, and I believe she was expelled from middle school, and then she went straight into working part time in a restaurant. Um, So she had a rough beginning, and which is actually quite common with a lot of these idols. When you dig through their backgrounds, you're like, oh, a lot of them came from these impoverished, and that's why at a very young age they go to these industry, to try to, make their life better for them and their families, which it's hard work, but
Yeah.
kind of got to look up to that a bit, that drive. Um, so let's see. Oh yeah, that one was Get Yeah. Which, yeah. But she is still very much viewed as like a sexy icon. Like, even for the younger generation, everyone freaking knows her. Everyone knows her. And something I noticed purely on, I was on Twitter, and I don't know, maybe because when you like search for things, it starts showing you stuff from
Mhm.
like the system is like, oh, they're looking at this, so now I'm going to show them more posts about that. I saw a video of like someone was comparing her to today's like girl groups,
Okay.
and they paused on her and on this other girl, and I went, holy cow, with like the skin tone, with like the bleaching and stuff and the filters they do on the idols now. And it
Mhm.
was during her like 10-minute one where she's in the cute like jersey one piece
Oh,
dress
yeah.
thing,
Yep.
and it's paused on like her, that side face that she does that's super famous, but like it was paused on her, and it was showing, who was it, I remember, modern girl group today. And I was like, it is insane what they do to like bleach the skin for modern artists. And then you look at her, especially when you put them side by side, you look at her and she did not like, they didn't do any of that. She had her natural beautiful skin tone, like
Mhm.
very honey, very pretty golden color. And then you have today's idols, which I'm not saying anything about that, I'm just saying the thing about like the industry itself. um and they're so pale. It is really bad when you like drastic. It's crazy to see the difference. And I'm like, I miss the old styles. No, I don't like how everyone's so like pale now. I like the, I don't know. It's just it maybe because you look healthier when you have that natural glow, and you know, I was like, the stark contrast, man, it's crazy. And she's very about that type of thing. Even in one of her music videos, her most recent one, I think, called Black. I don't know if you watched that one.
Yeah, I love that one actually.
It's a great one, but she's like not wearing any makeup at
Mhm.
all. Like maybe some like BB cream or something. But I don't even think that, because you can see like the blemishes and stuff on her skin. And I think that's awesome. I thought she was still gorgeous, but I really appreciated that. I thought it was a great music video. I thought she looked fantastic, but I don't know. I just appreciate that she's more about like not and she also did this with like Miss Korea. She's very much about like natural beauty type thing, you know? And I appreciate that about her, and that also makes her stand out as an artist as well. But yeah, I highly recommend Black. It's a great music video. Um,
Yeah, I definitely think because she is a solo artist, she's not part of a girl group anymore. She gets
mhm,
to kind of make her own calls regarding, uh,
mhm.
her appearance that she wants to present in the music videos and on stage. So I think that's kind of, and she also seems like she's for lack of a better phrase, she's like a ballsy character. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she doesn't seem like a timid, like, oh, I'll do whatever you say. She seems like she has an opinion.
Mhm.
She's very opinionated about what she wants to do as a solo artist. So yeah, I'm sure someone may have been like, hey, maybe you should try, following this fashion trend or whatever. And she was like, no, I'm just gonna
Y
do what I want to do.
Yeah, and I always appreciate idols who do that,
Hmm.
because 'cause I'm like, "That takes some guts, man, that really does." And something else about Hyo-ri, with that, like, self-image thing, so when she went and performed on 2013 SBS's Gayo Daejeon, it was during her Miss Korea promotions. She personally selected 30 non-celebrity women, who quote, with love and respect for themselves, who she saw as genuine Miss Koreas, to be on stage with her during her performance.
Hmm.
And I believe you can still find that. Yeah, and it's great because she didn't just have young people, she had like older people. She had a huge variety, a huge what's the term? Mix. It's an absolute beautiful performance, and I'm happy she did that, and she looked great as well. But like, I gotta throw that out there. But I always like, because everyone's like, what diversity and all that. Like, she has this woman who looks like she's in her 80s, and she didn't like hide her in the back. She put her in the very front center of the stage. And she even had little kids up there. It was super cute. It was super nice. I love her as an artist. She's so good. She's called a they call him something. There's a term for Korean idol idol activists. What are they called?
Hmm.
Do you remember? Do you know what they're called? I can't remember. I know I read it somewhere. I can't remember what they call it. Um, she is called. Sorry, guys. I don't remember. I will remember after the show. And idolists, idolists. There's idol activists, idolists, something like that. But anyway, but I'm always happy to see her. She also did a performance of Miss Korea, with Jenny. I think was it Jenny? I think Jenny from Blackpink.
Yep.
And it was actually a really good performance. They sang it live. And it was really nice. It was really good. She seemed like a proud mom during the whole performance because she was sitting right there, and Jenny did like 90% of the song, and then she got up and she patted her on the shoulder. It was cute. I was like, oh, I love seeing her. And yeah, she's one of those. She's still active today, which is really. I'm always happy to see that. So, any music videos or like songs that you personally really like?
Yeah, I wasn't like I didn't really know that much about her other than the "You Go Girl" video. That video is pretty iconic. And it's one of those
Mhm.
things that once you kind of get into K-pop and you start learning a little bit, there's certain videos and certain groups that you can't escape.
Yeah.
That video was one of them.
Mhm.
So I really like that one. But yeah, I liked her early stuff. Like I like 10 Minutes, and I
Mhm.
like Hey Girl. And those songs and videos seem very much of their time. Like they sound a lot like if you listen to like anything from like J Lo
Yeah.
or or even maybe a little bit Brandy, but there was
Mhm.
a period in 2000, like I don't know, 4, 5, 6, where there was a producer named Rodney Jerkins who produced like a ton of like Destiny Child songs, and he did a lot of Brandy songs. But he had a very unique style, and her style at the very beginning sounds a lot like that. But then she also kind of switches to more of a like Mamamoo type of style, like a big band type of swing style in certain
Yeah.
songs, which I thought was really cool too. But the beginning songs I thought were really good. And I really, really, really like her later stuff. It's easy to see in every video that she's like gorgeous, and everyone really emphasizes her beauty because she's a very beautiful woman. But her later stuff, you can see that she like enveloped into like or developed into an artist. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like Madonna, who was like big in the 80s and had a certain style, but then at a certain point she got into like electronic music and really started to express herself differently. And I see the same thing with her. Her later stuff, uh, there's one video where she's like dressed as a dude
Oh yeah, yeah.
for
That
like
one's
the
great.
whole video. And it cracked me up, and I'm like, is she ever gonna show like what she really looks like? And she does. There's a few scenes of her like in full glam mode, but a majority of the video is her with a mustache and a beard and
Yeah.
short hair, trying to pick up all these other beautiful women, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, I really really like her later stuff, and I was surprised because she's definitely a performer. I wouldn't qualify her as like a strong vocalist or like a strong dancer,
No.
but she's a great performer. Like
Mhm.
she's she's not lazy when she's
No.
on stage, she's doing her thing. But I definitely think like towards the end, like as she got older, I definitely think like her singing got way better. There was a ballad that she did called Amor Mio.
Oh, that one's so good.
Oh, it was a duet, and her vocals was like, oh my God. Like she can really sing. Like just like a really good singer. She really came into her own. There's a song called Soul, after Seoul, Korea, that's like a very electronic
Mhm.
type of style, very artistic, and I love that. And then we talked about Black, which I think is just a fantastic. It has like a country western type
Yeah.
of styling to it. But it is a great song. She has like a great like whispering kind of vocal on it. Um,
Mhm.
and the story of the video is just amazing. And the fact that it's like it's to raise money for like for animal shelters and stuff. It's
Mhm.
just awesome. I think that whole video is just amazing.
Yeah, and I think if I'm getting my info correct, I believe they said that the dog in that is actually her dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That is if my info is correct. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but that's the info I got from that music video, is that that's she used her actual dog in the music video.
That's awesome.
Which, I mean, it makes sense, I
Yeah,
guess.
like why not? Why
Why
not?
not? You know? Yeah, so that is such a great music video, and yeah, the country western vibe, I was like, yeah, she fits this so well. Like she like meshed so well with that style of music. And the whole
Mhm.
music video, I'm like, this reminds me of my home state, like the desolate desert wasteland.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, because I'm from Arizona originally. And like, yeah, like they buy water from other states, man. Like, it's so hot there. They have one season, but like I really like that. But yeah, I agree. Soul was great. What was it? Amor Meal is good, is fantastic. It's a fantastic ballad, just like you said as well.
Mhm.
Um I do agree. I prefer her later stuff now that she seems to have more control almost of like the style she does and her concepts. Um the previous stuff I like because I kind of got into her around her 10 minute and You Go Girl era.
Mhm.
Um and it just gives me a nice like flashback, especially watching the music videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, the early 2000s, man, like, like
Yeah.
it's I was like, oh my gosh, and they're kind of bringing that style back now with the new groups. And I'm just like, I I'm just living in, the past with her. And I think that's also why I like these older ones, because I'm like, what do I want, more modern, or do I want to go relive my childhood? You know? Um, but yeah, her artistry is so good, especially like nowadays. And then she did a song called Bad Girls with like a bunch of different girls. I think she had CL from 2NE1 involved with that, at least during the live performance. She's had some OSTs, and I don't know, just something about her. I think she still is the it girl, um, or it woman, I should say. She's an adult, like,
Mhm.
but her artistry is just so fantastic. I feel like you can find any song really in here, um, and I believe that they're still doing covers of her songs. I think um, Chanyeon did a cover of Talk Talk Talk.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and I believe that Chanyeon, what group was she from? Or is she from a group? She's oh yeah, Chanyeon from iZone. She was from iZone. She did a cover of one of her songs, like I said, or Jenny did a cover of one of her songs. So she's like kind of she is how to put this. She's a female equivalent of Rain in like respectability, idolism, your idol's idol within the K-pop industry, because everyone still does covers of her songs just like Rain, because everyone does Rainism for whatever reason. No, and it's the same thing with Lee Hyo-ri. Everyone knows who she is. They want to do her songs. Her songs, yeah, she's did like the sexy concepts and whatnot. She like highly leans into that, but she also has these deep, meaningful songs, like you pointed out, with like with Black and stuff. Like that one's for uh animal rights and whatnot, and it's just I like my idols having that type of artistry. Not they're not just the one. They're not a one. I'm using all these analogies that make me feel so old. A one trick pony, like she has range with a lot of things, and I'm always happy to see her, and I just want happiness for her. So I am sad that she had to take some years off, but I'm glad she's back. Back. But let's see. However, the annoying. I don't know if it was just me, and I just don't know, but I couldn't find her on Spotify. Could like
Oh, you know what? I just
I don't
usually what
know.
I do is I go through all of the videos and then I'll pick the songs that I really love and add it to the playlist. I did not get that far with her. I just did watch all of the videos.
Uh,
Yeah, I did not. I didn't. It didn't come up on Spotify actually.
yeah. Well, let's see. Maybe I misspelled something. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I'm just like, I gotta know if she's on here. All right. So there she is. There she is. I don't know. I didn't find me before. However, looks like not all of her songs are on here. Um, all right. So she is on Spotify, but not all of her songs are on Spotify, which is unfortunate. I don't see the one that we like. I don't see the Amor Mio on here. Ah, that's too bad. Anyway, but she is on Spotify. I just must have misspelled her name or something because she just wasn't popping up before. But oh god, I don't know. Let's see. I haven't really watched any of her besides Reply 1997. I haven't really watched any of her TV shows. Um I wish I did, but I only have so many, hours in a day. you know, I can't I can't watch everyone's stuff. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, she is Korea's most high-profile animal rights activist. She has done at least 2 charity songs for animal shelters. One was "Please Stay Behind" and "Remember," and then I think we said "Black" was one of those as well.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. Of course, all of this activism happened after the plagiarism, so maybe during that time period, she just kind of sat down and re-evaluated some things in her life because because on while on hiatus, she grew as a cultural influence, and she actually wrote online columns for newspapers. I did not know that. That's interesting. Um, and she let's see, she wrote vernacular newspaper columns for vernacular newspapers such as the Hankurin, and that mixed her thoughts on life and career with social commentary, and was well reviewed for her simple uh, prose, humor, and intelligence. So,
Oh, that's
um,
cool.
yeah. So even when she was on her hiatus, her influence grew. um, She also became an increasing presence in civil community, emerging as one of the country's most high-profile animal rights activists. Yeah. So while she was on, she wasn't just sitting around hiding during her hiatus. She was actually still very much in the public eye, but just in a different way. Um, let's see. Actually, her first show, 3-Leaf Clover. So that show was actually canceled. Oh, and something else that I found out. I need to find out what the show was called. She almost died.
Really? Like
Yeah.
on a TV show?
No, like while she was filming a TV show. Let's see. Okay, yes. Okay. Despite her previous to the two. It was during her mini drama If in Love, Like Them. It was only supposed to be 1 episode originally, but then it was 4, I guess. I don't know. But during part of the filming, her part of a roof that she was standing on collapsed.
Oh, Jesus.
Luckily, only her foot fell through, but reportedly the fall might have been fatal if her co-star Lee Dong-gung had not rescued her. So she would have fallen through the roof if her co-star hadn't grabbed her and saved her.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow, wait, what is with my first and second gen idols like almost falling to their doom? Like, oh my gosh. Like it happened to DBSK. They like one of them fell through the stage and she's
All right.
falling through the roof. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm so glad that would have been terrifying. But yeah, so she could have almost died during her filming. I would have stopped acting after that, honestly. Be like, nope, nope, get a harness on me. Nope. Um so let's see. Although and then during her also during that time, she just got hit with a lot of stuff. During the talk time period in her career, I believe that was like in 2007-ish. See her drama during that time, I think maybe it was If Love, I swear that production must have been cursed or something. If In Love Like Them, I think is what they're talking about. Even though her single was successful, the drama was heavily penalized for violating advertisement guidelines. Yes, it was. It had several instances of overt product placement, in addition to using her songs in the soundtrack. So because they were using her new album for the soundtrack and the overt product placement, like what's that stupid movie? It's based on
Wayne's
an
World?
SNL skit where he's like,
Yeah,
Domino's
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, yeah. That's what I think of. They only aired the show once, and then they made the network apologize to its viewers, and they were never allowed to ever show it ever again.
Wow.
Yeah. However, Japan swoops in and goes, we'll air it.
Yeah,
So
seriously. I mean, if you minus like all of the end story commercials that they were doing,
mhm.
Japan probably doesn't have the same products. So they're like, yeah, whatever. She's beautiful.
Yeah, they're like,
It's
we don't care. We don't have those laws. Come on over. No. So it aired on Fuji TV. And they said they gave her the VIP treatment and offered that they offered to other international stars. So they really liked her over in Japan.
fine.
And then they also broadcast it on CS Fuji, which is a smaller Fuji TV owned station. So in comes Japan. Oh, girl. This girl has gone through so much in her career. Holy cow. Let's see. I'm gonna for her music, if I were to split up the categories from like her older stuff to the newer stuff, I would say that my favorite for her older stuff, and I mean like early 2000s stuff, I'm a sucker for You Go Girl
Of course.
and 10 Minute. I think I was more a fan of You Go Girl though. I used to have it on my okay, I had to get it in a way that I don't condone. There was no iTunes, okay? There was
Right.
no iTunes. So I got my music how I could. So at least they didn't have international iTunes. That's what I should say. They did have iTunes at the time, but they didn't have international iTunes. So I got her song through a site that has limes involved, and I got her song, and I had that on my little iPod Shuffle. The little teeny when they were like little sticks.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Old school. And I put that on there, and I had that in 10 Minute on like repeat with some of my other K-pop songs that I got how I had to, so I could listen to K-pop back in the day. So, but like, yeah, You Go Girl and a 10 Minute were like my go-to songs for her. I mean, not that any of the other ones were bad. It's just those were the ones I loved. nowadays I'm kind of obsessed with Black because I don't know, she fits that vibe really well. Um and then I also really liked Miss Korea because it has that 1950s retro jazz kind of vibe to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a sucker for that type of music too. um and I think I really, really loved the like you said, the ballad song that was a duet, Amor Mio. I think I'm saying that right. And that one's really good too. Video wise, Black is very much the top. Korea is also up there at the top 5 because I like that retro. I like the outfits. I liked everything about it. I liked the I don't know if they're trans, but I don't know if you picked up on it. In Miss Korea when she's in the glitzy dress and she has
Yeah.
the people behind her.
Yep.
She has two I don't know if they're trans women or just uh uh what's the term?
Or cross dressers.
Cross dressers. But she has two behind her, which I also think is very awesome of her because that came out years ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
what was it, like 11 maybe more years ago? And it's just I it's one of those things where like she comes out in support of things but in the way that she can because of how Korea is at that time period. And then Korea just passed a law or something right now for LGBT rights, which
Oh,
good for
wow.
them. I don't know if you heard about it.
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay, let me pull up exactly what happened. I know we're talking about Lee Hyo-ri, but she, I get sidetracked. So they just passed. Yes, okay. Let's see. In a landmark ruling, South Korea. Okay, so South Korea has just confirmed state benefit for gay couples, so they can have the same like like on taxes and stuff. They
Mm-hmm.
can have the same benefits as married couples in South Korea.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome for them. So, yay. And once again, she's an activist, so that's why I'm bringing that up. But I did appreciate her doing that in the Miss Korea video, even though that was like 11 years ago. Leading the way once, first gen, second geners. And then I love the old videos because, like I said, it just makes me go to the back into the early 2000s with like high school and stuff. And like, oh yes, I remember this style. Oh yes, I remember the little, what are they called? The newsy hats, but hers is like fluffy
Yeah.
and pink. I'm like, I remember all this stuff, So I like those. But I like her more modern stuff because she still embraces the sexy side, but she's still more leaning to like natural beauty things
Mm-hmm.
and more of like deeper concepts and more thought provoking concepts. So for her, I do highly recommend. I know I say that a lot, but I do highly recommend her. If you're not into old school early 2000s, then just stick with the newer stuff. If you like old school new early 2000s, then she's the girl for you. If you like 90s vibes, go to her her girl group and get some of that there too. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of her in the future with her activities and whatnot. Do you have any final thoughts about Lee Hyo-ri that we haven't like touched on or?
She's had a very kind of different leveled career. There were some videos. She has these videos. One is called Any Motion,
Mm-hmm.
and then you watch it, and it's kind of like a drama. She's
Mhm.
like a dancer. You know what it reminded me of? There was there was like this old movie with Jessica Alba called Honey.
Oh yeah, honey. That
This
movie.
this reminded me of like the Honey movie, but in music video form. Uh,
Mhm.
but she was a dancer trying to find her dream, and that was the video for Any Motion. And then there was a video called Any Club, where it seemed like it was the next part of that story, where
Oh
the
yeah.
dancer like got her dream, but then she got into a club thing uh, with gangsters, and then there's another video called Any Star, and that storyline just lost me. Like I had no idea what was happening at that point. But I think it's kind of cool that back in the day that she was like, yes, or they somehow figured out a way to be like, okay, you're beautiful and you're a K-pop star, but we're also going to make sure that you get to develop a character, that you get
Mm,
to kind of show your dramatic chops, and we're going to tell a story through your videos, which I thought was kind of cool.
yeah.
One of the videos that I really love, one of her early ones, is it's a song called Straight Up. And it was, like the song is actually really good, but the footage is all like, it's all shot on Super 8 film. And it's a lot of like behind the scenes footage. So there's scenes of her like getting her makeup done. So she has like
Mm.
no makeup on, scenes of her just kind of like playing around with like her crew. And it was really endearing. And this was like early in her career. You know what I mean? It wasn't like one
Mhm.
of the later videos. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty ballsy for you to like show a video of yourself with no makeup on. I mean, like no makeup on.
Yeah.
Getting makeup put on as part of like the music video. I thought that was actually really cool. And the Super 8 element just kind of lended to that. Um, and then there was a video called Swing. That was another like very artistic video. There was like a clown on a beach.
What?
uh and it's kind of a ballad, I think, and it was like kind of like a 1960s kind of Spanish style ballad. It was very odd, but that was the first time that I saw the video, and I'm like, she's not sexy. And it's like, wait a minute, what happened? This, like, she's really like kind of pushing the boundaries. This is the first video that I can remember seeing her where she's not, glammed up and looking into the camera.
Mhm.
It was completely non-sexy, and I'm like, okay, now I can see her artistic integrity coming through, and then it just got better from there.
Yeah. That video is very much more like a a film art student, like art
Yes,
film, you know?
exactly, exactly.
It it's an indie art film. Yeah, like I said, I like her as an artist. She's very now you can tell when she became in charge of her own concepts because
Yeah,
she did that like no makeup, we're going.
yeah.
Art film, let's do this, and I look up to that, honestly. I could never do that because I'm hiding behind an avatar. you know I don't have enough self-esteem to do that. But yeah, she is fantastic. One of the best first geners that are still active, one of the few first geners that are still active. And that's the thing also that I like about K-pop is that you can find essentially whatever you're looking for, within music because it's such a, especially the early generations, they're so um experimental with stuff,
Hmm.
like we said, she's doing country western, she's doing 1950s 1960s jazz, and you can always find something that you like if you want like really experimental weird stuff that's out there too. know but yeah, I agree. She's a great artist. Not, I wouldn't say she's like the best dancer ever or the
Hmm.
best singer ever, like powerful, but I do enjoy her voice. I do enjoy her music and her artistry. And I am looking forward to what's to come in the future. And I hope she has a happy personal life too,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys once again for joining us on K-Pop Cosmos. I am once again Freyja, and you can find me on the Definitive Crusade, where we talk about all things DC Comics. We are kind of on a hiatus right now, kind of trying to figure some stuff out. So I'll see you when we do. So, do you have anything going on out there in the podcast world, Mark?
Yeah, you can catch me every week on Soul Wizard Podcast. Me and Joey and Aubrey, we get together and we discuss new movie reviews and TV shows and sometimes comic books. This week we will be talking about the new Twisters movie,
Ooh.
the sequel that no one really asked for, but somehow we got it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and coming up, we'll be doing Deadpool. We'll be doing a lot of
Yeah.
like the big nerdy movies coming up. But yeah, every week, Soul Wizard Podcast. We're going to be celebrating our 10-year anniversary next month.
Oh, that's
So
exciting.
we haven't taken a week off yet. So hopefully, hopefully at the 10-year mark, maybe we'll take a week off. But I seriously doubt it.
Oh, geez, that's impressive. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, we work hard. We're crazy like that. But yeah, check us out every week. SoulWizardPodcast.com is the website.
Yeah, check them out. All right, thank you guys. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to find out what makes the professor do his happy dance? Check out the All Timers Comic Book Show only on the UCPN.